Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick look at the Anorak itself before we get started, and just to make sure it's the style you want it. I just wanted to add, you can use any fabric you want. You can use, like, this is like a light cotton. You can use canvas. Actually, this wool hoodie I'm wearing underneath, it was made the exact same style as this jacket, only thing a bit smaller. I made this out of a wool blanket, so you can make a lot of different styles. The fabric I'm using, you're gonna notice in the video, it's real noisy to work with, because it comes with a plastic liner. I ended up ripping that all off after I got it sewed together, just because I couldn't stand the noise. But you'll hear it in the video, you'll know what I mean. But now it's gone and it sounds a lot better. But well, let's get sewing. Okay, just a few things I want to go over before I get started on this project. One is my material that I'm using. I'm cheaping out. I'm using a painter's drop cloth. It's just, I think I paid like 20 bucks for it, something like that. It's a 4x12 sheet. I got a Canadian Tire, I believe. The only thing I don't like about it is on the inside, it's like this plastic membrane. And I think I'm going to sweat a little bit in it, but I'm going to make it out of this. But you can use whatever material you would like. It's going to be the same kind of idea, how I lay out my patterns and how I sew it and stuff. I'm not a professional, but I'm just sort of learning as I'm going and taking it with me kind of deal. And if I notice that there's an easier way of doing something as I'm going through it, I'll tell you how I changed it or why I'm doing it. This is my last project I did was like a wool hoodie. It's going to be similar to this. Got the big neck and the bigger hood, nice big pocket in the front. The hoodie hangs down about here. I'm going to go a little bit longer with the Anorak, but we'll see as we go. And besides your material, I just want to go over what I'm using for a pattern. And what I did was I just took an old hoodie that just was wore out or whatever, and I took it apart and I raided the seams. I'll undo it here. Here's the front part, you can see, but I just cut around all the seams. I even cut the pocket off the front around the seams because I'm going to use that for a pattern too. Here's the back one. See? Both sleeves. As you can see, I cut right up the seam on the sleeve all the way around top. I found this worked out pretty good for my wool hoodie, so I'm going to go a little bit bigger all the way around, but I'll show you how I'm going to do that also. Because this sweater was a little tighter to be designed for like a jacket, like an Anorak, so I'll just make it a little bigger, as I'll do with the hood. That's both sides, and like the hood, I even took the seam out, that went down the center of it, so this is both sides of your hood. But you'll see it as I lay it out. Okay, you got your material all laid out, a nice flat surface. You got your pattern stretched out on top of it. Before you get started, there's just another quick couple things. Use your bigger ones first, and then you can see what you got left for material. Even better yet, if you got the room, lay it all out. Lay out all your patterns, and then you know exactly what you're using up. I just don't got the room in here. I'm going to have to do one section at a time. I'm going to use my front one first. So for me, it's better to start with the bigger patterns and then work my way over. Another quick thing, when you're starting on your edge, make sure you got enough room. If you go right over there, like I want to make this bigger than a hoodie because it is a jacket, right? So if I was right over to the edge, I wouldn't be able to add any extra room. I can show you on this side, maybe better on the camera. Add any extra room to the size of my jacket, right? Next thing, a hoodie's not long enough. It only comes to my waist. I want it down lower, so I'm going to add to the bottom of it. And by doing that, I'm just going to pull my hoodie up. That way there, if I bring it down to whatever length I want. What I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with 13 or 14 inches extra long length. But this leaves me with a pre-done hem. It's already done for me around the bottom. That just saves me a little bit of sewing. Okay, now that I got it all pinned out, I'm going around and I'm just marking a line. But as I said, I wanted it a little bit bigger than this hoodie, so I'm going to use this block as sort of like a guide for me all the way around. And then that'll give me, I think it's about 1.5 inches on this block, so that'll give me 3 inches overall. That should be plenty of room to fit under over my my wool hoodie. Well, thing I found out easier already, if you're using a block like me, if you don't get the right stuff, it's a little trickier. But with the block, I make little, to get around a circle, just make little lines like this, and then just sort of connect them freehand. So I'm ready to cut this out now. You officially got your first piece of material cut out. I did the exact same things I did at the bottom of the front and back portions of the jacket as I'm going to do it with the sleeve. I'm just, I only think instead of going down like the extra 13 inches, of course, I only went down like 5.5, maybe 6 inches. Got the sleeves all cut out now. Now I'm ready to do my hood. I'm going to take a half section. When I lay it down, I can only have it one way. Canvas, you could probably flip it either way, it wouldn't make a difference. But mine, I gotta have this side up. So I'm gonna look at my hood, and the way I can tell, it's hard to tell with mine because it's camo. I can tell by the threads that this is the inside. I can also tell by this little eye hole or whatever that the cord ran through. I know this is the outside. Keep it the same. I'm going to sort of freehand this one a little bit. I'm going to do my 1.5 inches around the back. Actually, no, I'm going to take the side on of the block, whatever that is, maybe 3/4. I'm going to do that around the back. The front, I'm actually going to use this, same as I do with my sleeves and my bottom portions. And the bottom of it, I'm going to leave probably this extra long. This is, let me check it here for you. This block is about 4 inches extra, roughly, all the way down. Now, for this piece of the hood to work as a pattern, you're going to have to reverse it, either this or this. So you're going to have the front side to the front side together. Line it up here, saves. I want a deeper pocket, and I wanted a little extra around here because I'm going to have to hem it. Okay, now you got your pieces all cut out. The first one I like to start with is just the pocket. I like to go, it's the one where you can't hide the seams really from it. So I go around, this is the back side of it. I go around and I flip these up, and then I'll just and then sew it right down just like they did here in the factory. I won't have to do this bottom side. That'll save me a little bit of time. But you want to do each section like that, all the way around. That way there, when you're done of that, you'll have this kind of an idea all the way around. That'll give you something nice to sew it to your anorak. Okay, now you got your pocket with you here. I'm just going to quickly take my inside of it, and I'm going to flip every seam to the inside, and that way there it just makes a prettier job on the front, of course. I'm going to get it started here. Now, your setup on your sewing machine, for those that actually sew, or this is sort of new to me, if you got any tips or what the proper settings are or whatnot for this, just let me know. I'll take any advice. Just leave it there in the comments, please. But what I'm doing is just your standard stitch, especially for this one here. On some of my sleeves, I'll double them up. I'll go down it twice and stuff around my shoulders, the places that need it more. Okay, now I'm just going to line this up half straight and take my time and get it started. I'm going to get it started by hand, actually, Just a couple. Just make sure it's catching good. I'm just gonna bring a couple through. And then I'm gonna back up. And then I'm gonna come ahead again. And that's just gonna secure my stitch. I'm gonna start all stitches like that. I'm gonna go ahead, back up, and go ahead again. And I'm gonna end them all the same way. That there just, it holds your stitch better. They told me that, so. Okay. Just going through nicely. Make sure you're not getting no tangles or not. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna come ahead. There you go. You're going to have your first seam, the pocket all hemmed around. We could attach that to the front. See it there? I got my pocket pinned onto my front section of my Anorak. Make sure this is the front side, not the back, and your pocket goes right on. Now I'm just going to sew around these seams, but do not forget and sew your pocket shut. This is where your hands are going to go in, so don't want to sew them shut. So yeah, my sewing machine is doing some sketchy looking sewing right now. I don't know what I did to it. I must have turned something off. But you can see she just cut it off. Anyways, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, you're gonna have to learn how to take out a seam or thread it off. I don't care, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I said I'm wearing it to the woods. Okay, I took the neck of it, the bottom part of my neck, and I cut straight down towards my pocket. And I made a little cut on either side. Now I'm going to take these, I'm going to fold them in on an angle like that, as you can see. And then I'm going to sew right up here. You can see, I got my neck cut out. So, see that? Now I just cut a piece. Not sure how long it is, but a foot long, a little bit longer, 13, maybe 14 inches. Fairly wide. I'm just sort of estimating this part because this is how big I want it. I want extra space, especially with this material, because I just want it, my heat to just evaporate out when I do overheat. But I think this is going to be plenty. And now when you sew this on, first thing you want to remember, you want this up higher than your neck, because I want it to come out in front of my face like a true Anorak, right? So you want, this is your neck of your jacket, you want to be up a little bit higher. And how I'm going to do this, I'm going to sew it from this side, just because my machine is terrible looking underneath. I'm going to sew it from this side here, and then I'm going to do the same on this side, and then whenever I'm done, you see how that's sort of buckling inwards? Whenever I'm done, I should be able to, can't do it, push it out, and then it should pop it around. That'll give me my my extra little space right around my face. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you what it's looked like so far. Pretty well dressed, but I actually made some changes to this. One probably won't involve you guys. It's just the material I'm using. I had to double it up and turn that so I didn't have that plasticky stuff around my face. So I just had to put another layer in there. And the second thing I did, I took the material and I undid the threads and I stuck them in this way and then sewed it. That way there it seems to want to come like puff around my face more. Still got to attach the hood and I got to do the sides. But what I'm thinking about doing with the sides, I never did it with my wool one. This isn't lined up at all, a little higher. But whenever I go to, before I sew them, I might take a little bit off, right like in a like a half a moon, just very little though. Just enough to more taper from my body, I guess. I'm just I'm on the wall, you can see I'm a thin guy, so I might do that. Like that. Now I'm gonna do I'll cut that out and I'll do the same to the other side. And then whenever I'm sewing, I'll just have to come in around, sew down and do my seams. I'm gonna leave it a little bit from the end. So maybe if I feel like I can put a V in. If not, I can sew it right up. And you'll notice how this ends up. The back is about an inch longer than the front, which is sort of a good thing. So sew up the other side now. Okay, so now it's time to do the hood, and you want to do the same thing. Bring your outside to your outside. Now the hood also, I put the jacket back on. Just gonna try it on. I can see already that I want to bring this back, so I'll sew this in. Bring it. Just gotta come down a little bit. Roughly. On both sides. I'm going to take off probably half that because I want to wear my hoodie underneath also, so I'm going to take off probably 2 inches around for now and then try it again. I don't want to go too far. It's pretty easy to cut off. I'll just place the two together and just cut them. This will allow me to put a drawstring in if I ever wanted to also. So I got my hood all sewn together and all around the edges here. Throw it on, see how it's got a little smaller looking. Now I still need to attach it to the Anorak, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the Anorak. Even the sound of this, I don't know, it might get to me after a while. I might have to peel that plastic back now. I tried a little piece and I didn't get it. I'm just going to leave it for now. More of a see how bad it's actually going to be when it's all together. Okay, so I got the Anorak turned inside out. You can see this is the back side of it. That's the front, of course. I marked the center of it. And I'm going to start sewing right there. But before I get to that, I'm going to show you how to place, and this works for your sleeves also. So if you got your Anorak inside out, you've got your hood or your sleeve not inside out like the right side is supposed to be, and then you tuck it inside of whatever hole you're sewing it to. You line up where you want to start. This is big. You line up where you want to start, like so, and then you just sew around like this, so when you pull this out, it's all going to be inside out, and then vice versa. Just a little trick I figured out, makes it a lot easier this way. Okay, so I got the hood all attached, and I attached it right to my my front face guard, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so now I'm working on the sleeves. I already got one attached. I noticed I needed to hem them up, so I hemmed the second one before I even put it on. And this one I did it while it was on. I just folded it up as far as I thought I needed it and ran a stitch around. To do the arms, you're going to want to place them the same way as like your hoodie. Take the Anorak itself, have it inside out, have the sleeve right side out, and grab it the same way as you did the hoodie and slide it inside of the Anorak. Find the seam of the sleeve, line it up with the seam of the Anorak down below. So that would make your seam be running this way and all the same, I guess. And then when you start at the seam, you just keep working your way all the way around the Anorak. And if you have any extra of the sleeve, like I did on that first one, I sort of bunched it, and on the outside you don't really notice it all that much. So, like I said, this is a jacket for the boys. like I said earlier, I'm double stitching everything, so just to make it that much stronger. Hey guys, I guess this is the moment of truth. I'm gonna try it on. One thing I'm gonna add, that plastic, I had to take it out. It's just too noisy. There's still some here and there in some places where I'm gonna have to remove later, as you can hear. Just like in this hem I did, I just put a quick hem on because they were a little too long. You're gonna have to adjust every jacket for your arm length, I guess. But let's try it on. So that being said, that I took the plastic out, I'm gonna have to figure out some way to waterproof this now better. I'm still gonna have to take these out and remove that plastic too. But let's try it on. Okay. Let's down here. As you can see, it doesn't fit too bad. I'm gonna have a belt on that goes around also. One thing I'm gonna have to do yet is attach a string on here. String or some sort of like a shock cord maybe, something that will close this up. But yeah, no, I don't know how it looks on the video there, but I'm just gonna throw my belt on right quick. Something like that. Still probably bring it in a little bit on the waist. I can just do that exact same method I did earlier to bring it in. But this is just a piece of fur. I think it's I'm not even sure. I think it was mink. I forget now. But I just keep it there. I got wool on the back side of it, and then every time I set down, no matter if it's snow, like and this time of year anyways, with all the snow and stuff, it doesn't make a difference. You just sort of sit down, don't have to worry about it. It's a little bit warmer too. Like I said, I just need to put some shock cord or some rope or string or something on here, tie these together, so if I want I can close it right up and cinch it down and cola. But this is it. The hood down, it's got a nice big neck on it. Happy with that. Like I said, I'm going to remove a little more plastic. If you decide to use this, it's very thin. It's not going to be as warm as a heavy canvas anorak for sure. And if you think that plastic's going to drive you foolish, do it right off the bat. And then you won't have to go back and, like what I'm going to have to do here, remove this hem, take the plastic out and then hem it back up. But I don't know, it's a good little project to start on, because it's not costing you a fortune for material, and if it turns out you got a $20 or $30 anorak, however much this costs you, and like I said, I'll figure out a way to waterproof this now, and I probably won't be waterproofing it before I get out. I just want to get out and dry it. I got my wool underneath, and as long as it's not raining or snowing too bad, I think I'll be fine for now. But yeah, thanks again guys for watching, and if you like this video or you got any questions or comments or anything, just ask me down below. And if you got any like suggestions too, like on how to sew better, because I'm just sort of learning as I go and I'm sort of teaching myself, and there's a lot of good ideas out there, so if anybody got any, just let me know. And if you like the video, hit like, and if you're not subscribed yet, hit that, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll have this on. Bye.